manager, and it is not as easy to use as our composer now that we have so many platforms on, and he really rocks it. So it's my greatest pleasure to introduce Mohan to you.
Thank you, Ms. Pan. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Yeah, I think most of you are working on websites, and nothing special to you. I've been doing my perspective, what I feel right, and I've been designing. I have a very good technical background. I've done my MBA in e-commerce and MSc in information technology. I've been all my life, my career was in the field of IT. I have designed many techniques and I've also put up my own portal, websites and things like that. And I have been an IB teacher for all my while. And this is, I had SMIC, I started as a webmaster. It was a great challenge for me to start out with Finalsite, but I found I could settle down very fast. Now, some of the things what I am going to present to you is, as she was mentioning, that we are not on a new platform, we are on an old platform. So on the old platform, whatever best we could use, we have used it. I have incorporated some Java codes and a couple of codes here and there to see that to match up with Composer, which meets in the other schools. We are budgeting it, and Composer will come shortly into our school. Now, my first question I want to ask you is marketing information and or design? How many of you say it's information? Put your hands up. Information. Is marketing information? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, how many of you say marketing is design? Okay, how many of you say it is both?
Both, yes.
Both, yeah, okay. Right, well, I start with a philosophy of saying marketing is information. There are times when I had tough times in my career also, when I didn't have a job and things like that, and I didn't have money to even post advertisements and many other things, when I used to get this 15-cent postcards at home, and I used to write my personal training, like, I used to give in-house training at the residence, and I used to write a few lines about it and send it. It did fetch me an income, a living for quite some time. So what I would like to say is information anytime, anywhere required, if it is reached, then it is good. So we need to get our information through. Now coming to the next part of it, once you have an organization and business, design counts, because you have to have an image of your product. So it's both information and design. Now I would like you to take a look at one of our most popular things is our SMIC gallery hits. I think sometimes you might say that these are direct screenshots from Finalsite, and it is recorded there and I cannot tamper with it. You can see we have hits like 25,000, 47,000, 18,000, 40,595, 33,000. That's a lot. Now, you might be wondering, every school has a gallery, and why we have a difference in the number of people who are hitting at the gallery. It depends on how we promote it on our pages. Now, the secret of our dynamic gallery. Over a period of time, I'm trying to create a history of the school. Like, for instance, you would like to know how it was 5 years back. When you say branding and when you say customer support and customers, even an old student may be a good customer. If you can have his parts played in, a role played in school, a few years down the lane, he will look at all these pictures. Maybe his children will come back to school. You're still adding on things. So having a collection of information over the past helps the school in branding and growing. Now, here what happens is, that is why you see when I came in, I got that gallery called 2018-2019. Now we are in 2019-2020 gallery, and whatever little bit I could collect from the old, I just dragged and dropped into 2017 and 18. So that is the first thing I did. And the next important thing what actually happens is, when you are creating a gallery, there are lots of opinions which come from different departments, students, parents, and so on. Though I've been posting a lot of galleries right now, until date I don't have any complaints from management, I don't have complaints from parents, and I don't have complaints from teachers or in terms of loading or downloading of the gallery. The objective is here. This is where the secret lies. Now, when you are posting a gallery, it is always good to see that there's some personalization done. I take it into a batch processing. First thing I do is I take all the pictures and I have trained the other departments also to pick up pictures, 15 to 20 pictures. We don't want much from an event. If you take too much, then we'll eat up too much space. So between 10 to 15 or 15 to 20 pictures is being selected. And after it has been selected, I put it in a batch processing software and I put our school logo. The objective of putting our school logo onto it is anybody downloading this image should not misuse it. That is why we put every picture in our gallery carries a school logo. And all the pictures in the batch will carry the title of the, I'll show it to you then, title of the picture, or maybe the title of the group of pictures or the event. That's what I engrave into the picture. So once you download, even after 20 years, you can see that it was done in 2019, and this was an event, and even some of the people in might have forgotten it, and then they can download and get the context of it. Now, here, another thing what I do is I embed the photo title and the school logo. I create a new slideshow under the subtitle of the year, then share the link used in different class departments. As we were talking earlier, teachers have pages, as well as she was saying, each teacher has a wall in a certain school and they put up post information. Like this, these link can be used in different classes based on where it is applicable, and that's what happened. Now, we are going to the next stage of storytelling with our photography. Now, last year we just promoted the gallery, and this year I'm promoting the objective. If you look at this, you see this is a Spanish field trip where the teacher actually renamed each of the files to photographs to the event what it is, and it has been posted up. So this one can tell a story. So when you tell a story, it becomes more interesting for a person to see, whether it's a child, parent, or the community at large. When you're telling small stories, you'll be longing to see, wait for the next story. You'll be longing to wait for the next story. So in this way, galleries become very popular. Now, integrating the gallery and going on to something called a wall. Now, this idea of wall came to me when I saw the Harry Potter movie, where you see in the school, all over the walls, everything is being posted. Everywhere you look around, there's some piece of information that teaches you a lesson, teaches you something. So what I have done is I've made use of our portals as a wall. I converted the portals as a wall. Now, we have segregated it like parent, student, and things like teachers. So if you go to a teacher wall, you will see everything related to a teacher. If you go to a parent wall, you will see everything related to a parent. If you go to a student wall, you will see everything related to a student. So in that way, you're not giving too much of information for a person. Another thing is, when a parent goes somewhere, he doesn't want to walk around and scroll around from one page to another. He should be able to get all bits and pieces of information, what he's looking for, from one single page. I'll go over the wall once I finish my presentation for you. Now, one of the things that I generally incorporate on the wall will be a calendar, the resources, events, activities, gallery, advertisements, newsletters. And also, on the right side, you can see that downloads and resources, which you see, and students' achievements. Many of these things come on my wall. Now, our parents are pretty happy about this. Last time Mr. Robert also was there when the parents' meeting was there, and everybody were very happy, and they said, we are able to get all the information that we look for from the website. Yeah, that's what I said, information. because we were hiding our design. We were waiting for composer to get down to design. Now, so these are the things. So parent literally knows everything, and whenever we have a parent conference, they come out and say we don't get this or we don't get something like that, and then we try to incorporate it. Coming down to setting up a wall. How do you set up a wall? All you need to do is create a portal. It's pretty simple, but I think you need to use some techniques. I think this technique is not there in, most of your schools, you have your own idea, you have something to share. This is something which came out of my mind and I've worked on it, which is not specifically documented in Finalsite or something like that, but it gave me a good opportunity to express it to Finalsite right in front of me. And thank you for this opportunity. Now, after creating a wall, you add all the members that has to look into the wall. Now your wall can be, you can have different kinds of wall. As of now we only have, since we just started, we have a wall for students, but in future we plan to have it like middle school wall, Chinese school wall, because I don't see that the Chinese school students are so interested in looking at the international schools. It becomes more of a competition when it is mixed up, when it is segregated separately. Then the parents and the students find time to go in, because if you take a newspaper, you don't tend to read it because there's a lot of information. But you directly go to a column where you can actually read and pick up information. This is human tendency. Now, so we are going to separate the walls for parents as well as students into middle school, high school, Chinese department, and so on. Or add all required elements. On the wall, you add whatever elements you want, and then insert media with the respective group titles. I will show you that on my wall. Use random start to make it dynamic. Now, on the wall, what actually happens is, I always believe that if you're going to a website and you see the same thing every day, then you're not going to go back to it, because your mind is already earmarked saying that there's not going to be a difference. But when you're going to the website, next time you see something different, and then you feel very excited in looking at it. So that is why my gallery is automated in several parts, so that when you get into it, the new gallery is automatically getting in the wall, and they're in a position to be excited over watching it. Now, if you take into consideration the other part of it, let's say there is no event for a period of 1 month, but the same gallery is there, but still my page will look different because we give a random start option there. So what happens is, if you have 15 pictures, when you look at your wall, it won't be the first picture all the time. So it will be in between somewhere else. Makes them excited, and they will revisit our gallery, and that's why you see so many hits on our gallery. Now, save and publish the page. So after you've finished your work, you save and publish your work. And this is what it is. So here you have the gallery, you have the wall. The next interesting thing which I could discover off late, this was coming even after I was communicating with her, so this is a little off topic, is the forms. Forms, yeah. They have been discussing many things about the forms. But there are some other very interesting things which I can take you on to forms. Forms on the first level, I do not know whether Composer has this feature, but I have put in some of these additional features to make more management information simple. Now, as you say, that sometimes people say, okay, documenting for a report or an analysis for something takes time and we have to collect data and information. But how does data and information help? Data and information, last time when WASC was here, they were asking a lot of questions. They were giving us ideas like, they were saying, why don't you have a graph to say from which area a child is coming and an inquiry? Why don't you have a graph to say what is the international population? There are 101 questions, but all these 101 questions can be answered if you collect information or data. Now, collecting information of data is going to be such a difficult task if you don't have these forms. Now, with these forms, you can collect 100 information, or you can have 100,000 information also, but it can be collected with ease because one of your staff is not typing that information. Because as you go into a self-service restaurant where you save time and cost for the restaurant, you go and do your services by yourself. So what is actually happening? A parent for a bus information or for some other information is directly keying in the information which is required for the database. As Ms. Pam rightly said that you should not have many things on a form, so my request to her is either in Composer or in the uploading things that data once entered should not be duplicated. So when a parent is entering information, if the parent gives a parent ID, we should be able to get the rest of the information, but only collect the part of the information which is, let's say, you want this bus to get down at this stop, to get up at this stop. Because I know over a period of forms that we are updating the same information, the name of the parent, the address of the parent, the telephone number of the parents, which we already have 10 years back. Only we need to update it when, as and when the need arises. So this is one of the things I would like to put you, I'd like you to put in your diary and get back to me on this. And the second option is, well, after they have submitted, we should be in a position to use these forms for the purpose of further data analysis. So when we move on to further data analysis, if you notice this is a counseling form which I recently created. As you said, we don't have much information. We just say whether it is a student, staff, or a parent. You put in your full name there, you put in your email address and your phone number, and then you select what type of service you're expecting from the counseling department. It is going to be whether it's referral services or counseling services or college placements, and then you put in a small comment on that. Once you've done this, there ends it. We get the data in an Excel spreadsheet. And I'm looking for something beyond that. And after this, I built this second half of it, but I would like you to take it back to Finalsite and help us with these things. Now, when we move on to it, is I just given a small tag there, but which is not good on the parent form. I put it as stage 1, 2, 3. So when I use an if condition with 1, 2, 3, when the first stage is over, the second stage takes me to the date of the appointment we're going to give, and the third stage takes to me the remarks of what has actually happened. So this information pulls down in the form, but we should be in a position to reuse that particular form in the long run. Now what we're doing is, we will download this into an Excel spreadsheet for things. There's another option where we can update the form inside. I can show you that. In that, my staff pulls this down and they get this information done. So from previous year where we were collecting information in the way of forms, this year we're going to go deeply into analysis of information. So going into analysis of information, I brought this other half of it. I've asked for appointment from the admissions department to see that admissions also is being done this way. So analysis, you can analyze this information and data by downloading it into Excel and creating graphs. Now when you create graphs, you see this interesting analysis which I shared with Dr. Kelly recently was in our employment thing. We have around 1,800 applications which is in our employment form in the Excel spreadsheet. Once we have downloaded it, I analyzed it and I could tell him that, see, we have 450 people applying from US, whereas we don't have people in the other areas. That shows our promotion in other areas are not much. And very often we don't get really much people from there. Sometimes we have to get more people, then you can even spread into places like Canada and Great Britain and so on. So you need more promotions, or you need to get agencies who promote people from that area. So probably we have agencies promoting from US. So this is an interesting analysis which you can bring about by using your forms. So before Q&A, I'll just show you our wall. This is our gallery where you can see that on top you can pull down the arrow, you can go into the year, you can go into the years, can you see this? 2018-19, and then you can go into what thing if you want to see career day or whatever, humanities. So you click into that, you can see that gallery. And then you would notice that on every photograph I have logo as well as a title of the thing. One thing interesting is sometimes you might say that when you just put it on a large screen, it may not be very clear. I make sure that I reduce the size so that it looks clear enough on your mobile and your computer. The main objective is to save on space, download of speed in which the thing can be loaded, and also I don't want people to print it out so that when they print you have to give high quality. I don't want them to print it. These are our objectives on having the gallery that way. Now this is our student wall, where on the left hand side you can see we have the different interesting pages that they can get to. Again you can see the calendar, and this interesting part is if I have the entire gallery in any folder, I have pointed to 2019, 1920. So anything under any subfolder you put, the latest gallery will come up automatically here. The latest gallery will come up automatically here. So when I go down here, I don't have to very much touch these pages. What I've done, like a newspaper, I have given theater and drama, I have given Chinese trad music, couple of things. So parents, you know, what actually happens is, if they don't like particular topics, they can switch it off. They can switch off the topics. So what happens is your page doesn't become clobbered. Every time the parent goes in, they don't want to see all the information. Some parents are interested in sports, some parents are interested in music, art and things like that. So they can switch off the gallery. Once they switch off, what actually happens is this information is stored in their cookie, and next time they open it, they don't see this, they only see the title. If they need, they can open it up. And also it slows down, it speeds up the thing. You notice the reason why so many galleries are coming up very well on my wall is because of the processing that I do in bringing down the size of the images. Now, this gives you almost different galleries. In other words, information at your doorstep immediately. I think as a parent, or you as a parent, or I as a parent, we always like to know what our child is doing. Yeah? Whereas some schools don't want to promote that. But if you're getting an information online like this, you always go there and you get the information right straight away. So that's what happens. On the right side, you have things like, you have a download and resource session which have built up, and it is growing. Right now it is a little less because we just started the academic year. And if you notice, if you click on this, it will open as a tree, and then you have all the things. So you see, I have accommodated all the information on one page. So the parent doesn't have to go here and there. Just look at what you want to see. So if you want to do something like that, you open the folder and download that particular information. Now if you go to high school, you see, you can say high school information will open up. As the year goes by, you will see the number of files are pretty huge there. And then I always have the upcoming events on the side. And then students' achievements, students' important links, resources. Then you have the feature of the groups coming in here, the announcements, and things like this. So, if you have any questions, I can answer you if I have the time.
Do you keep those on the file manager then? You're keeping all of your pictures in file manager?
Yeah, not in file manager, in media manager.
Media manager.
Media manager. Yeah.
In Composer, you'll be able to resize it right there. You won't have to do it.
Okay.
He'll be so happy. Oh, he'll find stuff to do.
Okay. Yeah, you have some questions.
Yeah, if you go down to see a good beginning of the wall. Yeah, go down here. You have a latest event and a current event. What's the difference?
Which one?
Right on the top.
This is
You
the
have both
outcome of
latest
the
event and current event.
this is the outcome of the later event which took place. This is the current event. What we are having today.
I see.
What we are having today. This event was a previous event which is taking place. Is coming in the gallery.
I see. And then if you want to see even later events or even
previous events.
How do I see the history?
You can click on this button at the bottom. You just need to click on this button at the bottom, and then it'll open up,
Alright.
and then you can go to this arrow here, and then you choose what you want.
But then
All media, you choose all media, and then you go to 2019-20, or you go to whichever it is,
right.
field trips, library reading.
Right. If I go, can you close this window?
Yeah.
And then I go to. If I go to. How do you
Close
it?
this.
Yeah. Close that one.
Yeah.
If I go to like theater and drama, right?
Yeah.
I see one.
One, yeah,
event. If
yeah.
I want to see the previous events just for theater and drama.
Yeah,
I
you
will do
click
that.
on this, you click underneath theatre and event here, and you can see theatre and events.
Only theater and.
Only in theatre and events.
Okay.
So you see there are only 2 events under theatre and so and so. So if you want to go still back of that, you can just say all media and you can go still back.
Okay. So now maybe so is the wall
Mm.
the feature of wall supported by Finalsite?
I don't know how much it is that, but this
Yeah,
was
when I come back,
yeah,
I'll go
yeah.
through.
Okay. Now I'll give you a scenario. If you can you close this window.
yeah.
I have a scenario that okay, the theater drama doesn't get changed. Maybe changed once a quarter.
No, it depends, yeah.
Depend on right.
Yeah.
But then for the ES event, maybe once a week.
No, not necessarily once a week.
Maybe let's
Not-
assume
not
that
necessarily once a week, yeah.
assume once a week, right?
Yeah.
So what will happen is that every time I come in, I see theater is the same.
No,
It's still
I
occupied
will tell you one thing.
within that quarter without
Yeah.
further change. I
Yeah.
see every time it's the same. Let me close it.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't know when to open again to see the next one.
That we need to work with them to get some kind of a plugins to put into that, or Composer may have it.
And then, but for yes, okay,
Yeah.
good, I have see there.
Yeah.
But then there's other like music, theater. Then those things doesn't change. It keep coming, same thing. So another design for this is that to have all these different modules put into one like a news stream, like Facebook news stream. So
Yeah,
whoever
yeah.
coming in first, just by timeline, put in there, but then put a category tag in the corner. Say, oh, this is drama.
Yeah, sounds good,
That's
yeah.
the music. So you see the latest, and I don't have to, turn off a particular category, and then.
Yeah.
You know what I
Okay,
mean?
we are going on to the next stage.
We're
It's
going
pretty
to the
interesting.
next stage.
That's pretty interesting. And what I would like to say is, every school, it's not the webmaster. It is a collective work. Last year, Kevin was there to help me out. This year, he is teaching, and then it's a collective work. And I would like to say that all my departments, the admission departments, put in a lot of effort. And you would see wonderful information. You go to the admission set of information. We have the counseling department. They put in a lot of work. You would have seen the counseling page which I showed you. And then you have all departments putting in a lot of things. But what I would like to sum up by saying is, it should become the culture of the school that everyone begins to think it is everybody's responsibility.
Yeah.
Sometimes what actually happens is, I don't put some galleries unless otherwise the gallery is addressed and seconded by somebody else. Because the teacher is in the field, the teacher is doing a particular task. So if that teacher does not send me an email with the photographs, then I will not be able to publish it because I don't know what is happening. It's not, I cannot take responsibility of the photographs which is there. So somebody has to second it and support it and send me the information, and then I can put it up. So it should become a culture of every schools to work on. Thank you.
Great, thank you so much. We should hire you. Dr. Kelly's not here, I can say that. Okay, that was awesome, thank you so much.